Bada bing, bada boom. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wonderful that you can be here for the stream on Friday, April 16th, day 6 of our free bodyweight exercise training. My name is Seth Spicer. This is CCHS, Connected Community Health Support, streaming free bodyweight exercise training. I do this with Jacob Carroll and Adam Fox, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7:30, 11:30, and 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We restream these at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, following up in case you couldn't make it. This is for anybody who wants free exercise, anybody who's apprehensive to begin exercise, anybody who doesn't know where to start, and anybody who needs a consistent exercise partner, really. We believe that health and fitness should be accessible, and that's why we do this 3 times a week, to make it so that as many people as possible really can get their exercise in. You can find us at Connected Community Health Support, Connected CHS, on many social platforms for additional information, other streams, or our recorded videos. As always, make sure you talk to a physician before you begin exercise to make sure that it's right for you. We've customized this program to make it as inclusive and individualized as possible, but still make sure that you talk to your own person. All you need to join is an 8x8 space to follow my instructions, and I'll explain all of the rest. You don't need any equipment to join this program. If the intensity is too hard, you can back it off a little bit. You can listen for our regressions in the movement pattern. If it's too easy, you can go a little harder, listen for our progressions in the movement pattern, and maybe add some weights laying around the house if you happen to have them. You don't need them by any means, though. Lastly, if you've heard the spiel before, make sure you grab a chair if you need help getting to the floor. Same thing as always, hands-on support, strong knee in front, drop the back knee to the floor, and the opposite on the way back up. All right, with that said, we had the same workout as the last 2 days. We keep things similar throughout the week to make sure that you can not get overwhelmed in your intro re-addition back into exercise. Next week, we will change it a little bit. We'll change a couple exercises, and we'll change the work to rest ratio. But today, we have our workout that you can find in the description. Today, forewarning, I will only be doing 1 session, and then I'll try and restream it immediately afterwards as I do have class. All right. I'm going to turn on my timer, and we will get it started in here. I'm going to start with the warm-up as usual. All right. Find the wall if you need it. Just doing some hip circles. We'll start with whichever leg you like. And another way. Whew. If you need a wall, go ahead and grab it. Other leg. The real reason you need to bring a friend to these things is to support you while you do the leg swings. Who knew? All right, shake it out a little bit. Next up, shoulder circles. Got a lot of circles to start. Thought you were done with math. I'm bringing you back some geometry this morning. Shoulder circles little. Go ahead. Open them up. Nice and big shoulder circles. P90X was free at an intensity that was good for fat loss. You've got yourself it here. Other direction, forward. Shoulder circles forward. Little ones. All right, now we're going to do T-spine rotation. These are called open books. You have your hand here, and you reach back towards the back wall. Reach back towards the back wall. Carry on, do about 5 each side. Look towards your back hand and rotate as far as you can. look at the hand, and come all the way back. Same thing, rotate the other side, breathe in, breathe out, and reach. And trying to keep the hips facing forward. I say it every day, but this is a great way to open up your upper back and undo all of that hunching. T-spine rotation comes complementary to T-spine extension. T-spine is your thoracic spine, your upper back. Doing this every day. It's a good way to improve your posture. All right. Neck circles. Whichever way you like, nice and slow. Feel the stretch. As always, if you feel pain, stop doing that. Burn is good. Pain is bad. Switch directions if you haven't already. Again, this is free, virtual, and live body weight exercise training for weight loss specifically. And this is just the warm-up if you're just joining us. All right, take a few seconds, get what you need. Grab your water if you don't have it already. We're going to begin in about 30 seconds. All right. Alrighty. We're going to get started with the top exercise of the set. 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. These are floor touches starting in 10 seconds. Go ahead and find your position. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Floor touches, just what they sound like. Touch the floor. Got good news. I figured out a way to keep my cell phone timer on the entire time without having to touch it. You better believe that was a relief. All right. If you can't go to the floor, that's all right. Just take your hands down to your knees and come back up. Again, adaptable for anyone. And time. Good morning. Now, because you're all such wonderful little angels for showing up this early to watch the stream and exercise, we're going to do snow angels in your honor. Snow angels can be bent over or prone. This is bent over. Prone is on your belly. I'll start in the prone position, starting in 3, 2, 1. Snow angels, begin. Now, if you think you're getting a good workout this week, stick around. Next week, we're going 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of recovery, and then we're taking an easy week where we come back to 30-30. 3, 2, 1, and time. All right, awesome. Next up, we have my personal favorite, lateral raises, aka Flappy Birds. All right, lateral is the outside, raises is raising. You're raising your arms to the outside. Third exercise of the day, starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. If you've ever had that dad that tells one too many dad jokes, says it one too many times to the point where it gets annoying, well, starting young. Get those boulder shoulders. We're working. This exercise gets you the big lateral delts. Works your shoulders out. 3, 2, 1, and time. Flying away with Seth this morning. Next up, core number 1. We have shoulder twists or alternating hook punches. You can choose between doing a shoulder twist, touching your elbow to the opposite knee with feet off the ground if you want it especially hard, or you can do the alternating hook punch with me if you need a standing variation. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. Just throwing punches. Now, normally if you're throwing a punch, you want to be here, but today we're locking out the legs, keeping the hips straight so that we can work our core in an anti-rotation manner. This isn't a boxing class, I know. I'm sorry about my terrible form. Don't tell my father. And time! And time. Next up, we have squats. Any depth that you feel comfortable going to for a time period of 30 seconds. Okay? If you want to go to full depth, you want to move slowly, that's fine. If you want to do rapid jump squats, whatever floats your boat, mate. All right, starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and squats. As you can see, I prefer full depth. My little green stripe gives away them going down to parallel with my thighs. That's about as deep as you want to go. And again, your spine should be parallel with your shins. Spine, shins, and time. Next up, we have push-ups. I'm going to turn the heat down briefly. All right. Push-ups, you can use the wall for a regression. If you want to make it even harder, you can go to a lower surface, like a couch. I'm going to be on the floor, from which you can go from your knees if you like. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Push-ups. Next week, when you come back to begin, see how many push-ups you can get in 40 seconds and see if you can improve upon it by Friday. Whichever way you do it, wherever on the wall you start. Maybe you're on the couch. Maybe you're doing them like me. Maybe you're from your knees. See if you can improve every day of the week and time. Because that's all this is really about. It's about improvement. Even if you can only get one push-up when you start, even if you can't get any. No shame in where you're at. Only pride in where you're going. Next up, we have I's, Y's, and T's. Those are going to be from the bent over position. Right here, I's are in front, Y's are to the 45, T's are to the side. Go ahead and copy me. 3, 2, 1, begin. Overhead, 45-degree angle, 90-degree angle from the front. Overhead, 45-degree angle to the side. All right. If you want to hold it at the top, be my guest. Front, 45, T. Keep moving, working your upper back. Again, good for your posture. And time. This workout's also designed to be a full body workout. Maybe we should advertise that too, but it hits all the muscles you need to have a full, healthy body. Last exercise of the set. Knees to the outside. Lateral knee raises, starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Knees to the outside. Try to touch your forearm to your knee. I like to crunch over a little bit and really overdo it. If you want to go a little faster, you may. If you need to go a little slower, feel free. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. And somehow we've already made it through an entire set. Just like that. No comments so far. All right. If you're still here, thank you for joining us this wonderful morning. Hope you're getting a solid workout and starting to feel it. Back to the top with floor touches. Starting in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. I'm going to go a little faster now. Maybe you can try and keep up. Keep up maybe at half depth. I'm not saying that I'm going to do more of these in 30 seconds because that's not the challenge. That's not the purpose of this. Butt goes backwards, weight in the heels, spine goes up. 3, 2, 1, and time. This is the end of week 2, session 6 of CCHS free bodyweight exercise. We're moving on to snow angels. I'm doing them bent over this time, bent over position. Starting in 5 seconds. Find the floor if you need it. 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. To the side, to the front. Again, this is the adaptation such that a person can do the entire workout standing. We want to make it as inclusive as possible so that absolutely everybody can do this. If you have rough knees, you're getting a little older, you're got a little bit of extra weight that makes it hard to get to the floor, anybody can join this. Tell your friends. And time. Sweet. Let's go. You know what time it is. Flappy bird time. All right. I go to the floor because it's easier to see me. For this exercise, feel free to do it standing, starting in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, begin. If you want to feel this a little more in your anterior delt, instead of maybe back here in your lateral delt, feel free to rotate the thumbs upward and bring it forward about 15 to 30 degrees to here instead of here. All right, carry on. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. 3, 2, 1, and time. Next up, we have shoulder twists or alternating hook punches. Standing variation is the alternating hook punch. I did that last time. This time, I'm on the floor with our shoulder twisties. All right. Starting in 5 seconds. I'll start on the floor and then give you a harder variation. Ready? Begin. Feet on the floor, touching behind you. If you want to make it a little harder, we're going to pick our feet off the floor and touch our elbow to our opposite knee. Really getting some good rotation out of here. Try not to cross the legs. Keep your legs independent. 3, 2, 1, and time. That's the end of core number 1. Jake and Adam and I were joking. We're going to start one of those TikTok dances where we teach people about all the different movement patterns, right? So it's like a vertical press, vertical pull, horizontal push, horizontal pull, and then, maybe a little squat, and then hinge. I don't know. We're still talking about it. Don't worry about it. Next up, we have our squats. Ready, set, begin. It's important that everybody knows, though, the big 6 movement patterns, because if you include all of them in a workout, you prevent overcompensation of certain muscles. You keep your body in balance. You just generally have a healthier body when you work out all the main movement patterns. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1, and time. And we'll call that my little health tangent for the day about all the major movement patterns. We include all of them inside our exercises, of course, so that you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. All you have to do is show up in the mornings and tolerate my voice rambling on. Next up, we have push-ups. Find a wall, find a couch, find a desk, find your cat. We're going to do push-ups starting in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin. From knees if you need. These are still a great workout when you do them for 30 seconds. I will certainly be primarily using my knees once we get up to longer times. Keep going. You can go for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, and time. All right. And after push-ups, we have our I's, Y's, and T's. Feel free, as always, to grab water if you need it. I appear to have misplaced mine, so I'm going thirsty today. I's, Y's, and T's from the bent over position, starting in 3, 2, 1. Begin. I's overhead. Y's at the 45. T. I. Y. T. We can go a little slow at the top. I's, Y's, and T's. I do most of these workouts with you all and time because no one likes to work out alone. Consider me your exercise partner for the day. Again, I have to leave for class after this first session today, but I'll try and restream it right after for those of you that usually join in for the second session. Sorry about that. Semester's coming to a close, and that won't be a problem anymore. Next up, we have our elbow touches, lateral knee raises. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. Try and get those knees as far to the outside and as high as you can. Having the toes face to the center in between each set. If that's not possible and you want to keep them facing the outside, you may, but it feels a little smoother if the toes point forward each time. Time. And just like that, it's the end of set number 2. Going back to the top of the floor touches. Floor touches are our hinge pattern, all right? Again, squat and hinge are the big 2 for the lower body. Not looking forward to the back-to-back sessions of 40-20 rest. 20 seconds rest. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. Spine stays flat and neutral position, straight, as most say, the entire time. Squeeze the cheeks on the way up. 3, 2, 1, and time. Next up, we have snow angels. I'm going prone this time. You can do it bent over if you like for the standing variation. The goal is to be going completely continuous with exercise, but aerobically, all right? Aerobic versus anaerobic, basically using oxygen or beyond the threshold of which your body can exercise without going into using energy systems that don't use oxygen. It's a long story. I'll tell you more about it later. Snow angels starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. These ones feel good if you put your head on the floor. If your floor is dirty, you can just look up the whole time. If your little back hurts, squeeze your glutes. 3, 2, 1, and time. And next up, we're going to have lateral raises. Lateral raises, you know it's my favorite. Starting in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, begin. Right out to the side. When we're exercising aerobically, that means we're primarily using fat as a substrate. Substrate just meaning the fuel source for our exercise. You know you're aerobic when you can hold a conversation during exercise, or maybe it becomes a little labored to hold a conversation during exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. It's like I spent 6 years with an athletic training and master's degree in exercise science, all spanning to making this one program to help you optimally lose fat for weight loss. I mean, I don't know. It's like a perfect situation for us all or something. I don't know. It's really a coincidence. Next up, we have shoulder twists and alternating hook punches. I think the shoulder twists feel better. I'll do those. If you'd like to throw the hook punches, you may. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. I take my elbows to my knees, elbows to the opposite knee. If you want to make it easier, feet on the floor, hands to the side, each side. Keep it going, 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. So aside from our big 6 movement patterns, we also understand that everybody wants a rocking 6-pack and include 2 core exercises as well. And because core is important for overall health and life safety when you exercise and move. But that's besides the point. 6-pack, yeah. Next up, squats. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. Go as low as you feel comfortable. These are programmed as quarter squats. If you want to go half squats, you may. Or you might want to go full squat depth. If you're feeling really ambitious, you can use squat jumps. Those start to get instantly some lactic acid buildup though, which is a sign that we've gone anaerobic beyond fat burn as a substrate. And time. Generally, this program stays away from isometrics because they raise your systolic blood pressure, which might not be good for people that have a little bit of extra weight, right? We want to stay away from spikes in blood pressure. And generally, we stay away from plyometrics to reduce forces at your joint because high forces with high load on your knees is generally not good for them. So that's why we stay away from those inside this program. Push-ups, find your positions. Wall, couch, floor, knees. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. This is the last set of push-ups for the day. So I'm going hard from full position. You don't have to. Do whichever you like. Don't let that low back cave. Almost pull your hands down towards your feet. And that should help you stabilize your core. Tuck your hips up underneath you. And time. Woo. We want to keep our hips up underneath us during push-ups. Should not hurt the low back. Next up, I's, Y's, and T's. If you'd please, starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. And in front, 45 and 90. All right. I, Y, and T's. I think my body's finally gotten used to the 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, which is just why it's programmed like that. Because next week, we're going 40-20. If you're just joining in, my name is Seth Spicer, doing free exercise training on behalf of CCHS. And time. Nose breathing helps slow down your heart rate, even in the middle of an exercise too. I recommend it. Next up, and last exercise of the day, Lateral knees to elbow. We need to come up with a cool name for these. Starting in 3, 2, 1, begin. You can get your knees up to here to your hands. That works out well. If you want to get your knees up to your elbows, that works out well. If you think you can get your knees up to your armpits, now you're going to have some great hip strength and hip mobility. You're going to feel stable when you walk. You're going to be able to go out for a hike on some steep trails and climb up over boulders in time. We have 2 comments in quick succession. All right. All right, and that's the end of our workout. I'll answer those questions right now. I'm going to begin our cool down though. Good morning, Kelsey. Now, as I explain the cool down, I'll answer that question in the chat. So the cool down, start with a shake it out on each leg. Shake it out. Do this 10 times and get your breathing under control. Get your breathing under control. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose if you can. So there's a question about saying don't move your core during the Russian twists. So there's 2 choices for core number 1. It's either a shoulder twist, like we said, the Russian twist, or the alternating hook punch. In the alternating hook punch, that is when you don't want to rotate your core. So a natural punch, you do rotate your core, right? But there's 2 types of core exercises in the exercise science world. There's actual movement, rotation, flexion, lateral flexion, extension, right? Or there's more stabilizing core, which is anti-rotation. You don't let your body turn against an external force. For example, you throwing punches. So there's a lot of benefits to anti-rotation, where you don't move your core as you throw punches, as well as rotational core as well. And again, there's anti-rotation, but also anti-lateral flexion, anti-flexion, and anti-extension in core as well. We'll get to a few of those actually as we progress throughout the program, but that's a great question. And there's perks and benefits to each one. I appreciate the question for sure. Probably done shaking it out by now. Give yourself some hugs. Give a couple twists in there. Whatever feels good for you. Your chest might be tight from all those push-ups. And again, I'm very sorry, but I have to drive in to campus today for a class, so I will not be able to do a second session right now. I've got to shower, eat, and leave in 15 minutes to get on the road, but I needed to get at least one of these sessions in there for you all. All right. I recommend taking a few seconds just to control your breathing. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out nice and slow. Activate your parasympathetic nervous system, as you'll be able to go home and tell your friends and say, today I learned a thing. I activated my parasympathetic nervous system. And that just gets you calmed down, de-stressed, so that you can begin to rest and digest and recover as you go eat your protein-dense meal for the remainder of the day, hopefully high in micronutrients. We'll talk more about that as the program progresses. I'll give a couple minutes here if you have any quick questions before we move on for the day, before I disappear into the void. Maybe we should start doing a quote of the day, a little bit of motivation of the day, huh? I know there's a little bit of a lag on this stream, so I'll give it a couple seconds for anything to possibly come through. Keep on working on your breathing in the meantime. As far as diet goes, you can work out a lot, but the most effective weight loss interventions are combined with exercise and diet. Eventually, we'll get to the point where we do enough exercise, aerobic exercise for fat loss, such that we might even be able to lose weight without dietary restrictions, which is an exciting thought, but that is a lot of work. And it takes us quite some time to get up to that capacity without scaring myself or anyone else away, right? We don't want any immediate jumps. This program is progressive over time. And if there are no questions, I will sign off for the day. I will try to rescreen this as soon as possible to make up for not being able to do a second session. I appreciate you all. Tell your friends. This is a completely free, somewhat quality program, very solid workout program, regardless of whatever instructors say. So thank you all very much and have a wonderful day. Good luck reaching your goals. See you later.